So these comprehensive theories, all of them, fail right now to take into account one critical factor, and that is that we're creating them. That we're the biological creature that fashions the stories, that makes the observations, and it gives names to things. And therein lies the great expanse of our errors. And that is that science hasn't confronted the one thing that's most familiar and most mysterious, and that is, of course, consciousness. For several centuries, a single mindset has dominated scientific thought. This model has had countless insights and applications that have transformed all of our lives, but it's now reached the end of its useful life. This old model proposes that the universe was until recently just a lifeless collection of particles just bouncing around each other, and they were following these predetermined rules that were mysterious in their origin, and the universe was presented like this watch that had somehow wound up and then now is unwinding and allowing for a little quantum uncertainty, will unwind in a semi-predictable way. Of course, there are lots of problems with this paradigm, some that are obvious, others that are really mentioned but just as fundamental. But the overarching problem involves life. In how life arose originally is still an unknown process, even though we can follow it and apprehend what's been going on since through Darwinian mechanisms. The bigger problem is that life contains consciousness, which is, to say the least, poorly understood. So consciousness isn't just a problem, though, for us biologists. It's a problem for physics. And there's nothing in physics that can explain, as you've already heard over and over, how a group of molecules in the brain creates consciousness. So the beauty of the sunset, the taste of a delicious meal, these are all mysteries to science, how we subjectively feel that. So in neuroscience, we can pin down in the brain where parts of these occur, but what's really worse is that science can't explain how consciousness arrives from matter. So our understanding of this most basic phenomenon is virtually nil. Interestingly, most of the models of physics don't even recognize this as a problem. But let's put aside all the life and consciousness issues. The current model scientific paradigm leaves a lot to be desired when coming to try to explain the fundamentals of our universe. The universe, indeed, all the laws of nature themselves just suddenly popped out of nothing one day for no apparent reason. And we call this titanic event the Big Bang. And we don't even begin to understand the Big Bang, even though we keep tinkering with all the different parameters and expansion, for instance. But again, the Big Bang was really not an explanation at all. At some point, virtually everyone has thought, this doesn't really work. This doesn't really explain anything fundamentally, not really.